and time is 10 a.m. Everyone, if you would please mute your microphones and only turn them on when you wish to speak. If you're attending virtually, please keep your cameras on and announce your name when speaking so that it can be recorded for the record. We'll do roll call. Carmen Marshall, can you do that for us, please?
Yes, sir. Jason Pohl,
Here.
Melody Green,
Here.
Tommy Duncan Jr.,
Here.
Veronica Urigas,
Here.
Floyd Olive,
Present.
Audrey Walter, Victor Kirkendall,
Present.
Casey Jackson,
Here.
Presiding Officer Trace Smith.
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
All right, we do have a quorum. Next up on the list, Courtney Arbor, Executive Director. Turn it over to you.
Good morning. Thank you, Trace. I want to welcome everyone to our first meeting of the Bingo Advisory Committee under TDLR and thank the 9 of you on the board for being part of this work. And we look forward to continuing to work and continue the work of this program, the Charitable Bingo Program. I want to recognize a couple of people first before we get started. One, Chairman Rick Figueroa is on the call, and Chairman, after my remarks, I'll turn over to you, but Chairman was able to join us. Thank you for that. Also, I wanted to introduce Interim Deputy Executive Director of the Lottery and Charitable Bingo Program, Sergio Rey, as well as LaDonna Castanuela, who I believe you all know, and Vivian Cohn, who you probably also know very well. We have a few other members of executive staff here as well, but wanted to make sure you have faces to names of those that you'll be working most closely with. I really appreciate these staff for the professionalism and the continuity that they bring to this program, as well as you. We have met with a lot of stakeholders as the new agency overseeing this program, and overwhelmingly, we've heard great things about the staff, and also that the board, advisory board, Courtney, spit it out. The advisory board members were very active and well regarded, and so the commission wanted to keep the membership the same, with the exception of Dr. Trey Penny, who had resigned to take a job in Washington, D.C. So at the September meeting, all of the current advisory board members were named. And then at the meeting yesterday, the commission appointed our newest member, Casey Jackson, to fill that last open position. And we're happy now to report that the BAC is full and everyone has a defined appointment. The commission approved staggered terms of 2, 4, and 6 years for committee members. LaDonna is going to provide a little more detail about that in a few moments. I just wanted to reassure everyone that TDLR takes the responsibility for administering this program very seriously. We know the good that this program does in the community and the number of businesses that are active and the livelihood of many organizations through the successful implementation and operation of this program. So we want to let you know that you have our full assurance of our focus on the program, and we look forward to working with you. And that concludes my remarks. I do want to turn it over to Chairman Rick Figueroa, who was able to join us for a few moments this morning.
Thanks, Courtney. I appreciate it. Listen, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I know you're doing it for the money. That's kind of the running joke. So whatever they're paying, you just double it. And so it is a labor of love, and we appreciate all the effort that you guys do. Welcome to TDLR. We're excited about this. I have worked with many agencies and companies. You're dealing with some of the best people on the planet who are able to execute at the highest level. And so Courtney is a great leader. She will lean into any effort that you need. I had the privilege of visiting a facility not too long ago, bingo facility, and I'm in awe of the craziness that's involved, or the complexities that's involved. So be patient with me. I'm an Aggie, so use small words and little sentences, and I'll be fine. I'll try my best to keep up, but I truly appreciate this. It is a labor. We're excited, and I know for a fact 2 things are going to happen. One is you guys are going to have a better program because you've got some great resources that you probably never had before behind you, and some best practices that are available. But two, the leadership at TDLR is excited, and they're going to do whatever they can to make sure you guys are successful. And I, on behalf of the commission, want to let you know we'll be right behind you. So if you need anything, please feel free to contact me. I apologize. I'm going to have another meeting, but just want to say thank you guys. And that far guy on the far left, that Jackson fella, keep an eye on him for me. Would you, Tom, make sure that he behaves? All right. Just let me know. All right. So thank you guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Chairman. We appreciate that very much. Courtney, we appreciate that very much as well. Anything else?
Thank you, Trace. One other thing, one other important person that I failed to recognize, but you'll be working very closely with. In fact, you've already probably become acquainted with her, and that's Carmen Marshall, our wonderful advisory board staff who will be coordinating these meetings and helping with all of the details. Carmen, thank you for doing such a wonderful job on this first and future meetings. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, real quick, since this is the first official meeting at TDLR for the BAC, why don't we go down the line and introduce ourselves and tell a little bit about what you do in the industry and how you do it. And Casey, since you're the new guy on the totem pole, we'll let you go first.
Sure. I'm Casey Jackson. I have nothing to do with bingo. I'm representing the public. I'm a real estate developer. And I'm also on the board of the Texas Land Developers Association. I advise several different nonprofits, including one that I'm working on with Rick Perry, Americans for Ibogaine. This last year, for the first time, I got involved in state politics. I introduced or helped introduce 3 bills. I advocated for 4 bills, 3 of them passed. And I know Rick Figueroa well. I was at a bingo meeting and they were talking about doing things that could benefit nonprofits and potential future bills that might be able to advocate and help for nonprofits. And I thought this would be a cool thing since I have a lot of success now with state government and passing bills. So I thought maybe it's something I could have an impact on. So thank you.
Jason?
My name is Jason Pohl from Bryan, Texas. I run a bingo hall called Breakfast Bingo in Bryan. I've been there since '99 as a floor worker. And after I graduated college, I became the manager and I've been running it since then.
Veronica?
I'm Veronica Rodriguez. I live here in Austin and I had 2 bingo halls, and because of the new rules that were imposed, we are now able to combine the bingo halls, and now instead of paying 2 rents, I pay 1, which is great. So I run bingo hall day and night. I've been doing it for 35 years. So I am a charity lessor, so I have 9 charities I work with. I rotate them in and out, and I love what I do. So I'm still here.
Melody?
Melody Green. I'm from Dallas. We have I work with 7 bingo halls right now. I started with 1 charity and started raising money for them, and it just grew. So now I have 19 charities that we work with, raise money for. So keep going.
Tommy?
I'm Tommy Duncan. I'm Vice President of Sales for All Saints, Texas, in charge of creating the product for charitable fundraising.
Awesome. Victor?
My name is Victor Kirkendall. I too am a public member on the committee and very limited experience with bingo other than playing it sometimes. So I'm also new to the committee. I've been here for about a year. I am the former director of enforcement for Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission. Now I work for a school district where my wife works at, enjoying semi-retirement life. So bear with me as I'm still learning a little bit more about bingo, and I look forward to doing great things with TDLR.
Is Floyd on?
He's up behind that picture.
Okay, Floyd, go ahead, sir.
Yes, my name's Floyd Olive. I got started in bingo in the late 80s. In the 90s, I went to work for a manufacturer, and we've been changed a little bit. It started off as Bingo King, Video King, then Every, now IGT. So in all, I'm pushing almost 40 years in the bingo industry. Sort of new on the advisory committee. I've been on for a little over a year, but look forward to working with everybody.
Thank you, Floyd. And my name is Trace Smith. I live in Texarkana. We have 2 halls in Texarkana. We have a day hall and a night hall. I started working in bingo probably before I should have been, just cleaning the trash up and mopping the floors, cleaning the bathrooms, and learned every job in the hall as I grew older and old enough to work. And I've been doing that for about 38 years now. Anybody else? Do we need to introduce? No? Okay.
I would like to introduce our general
Yes, ma'am.
counsel for lottery and bingo operations, Deanne Reinstra. I think she made the round in the room, but I would like to introduce her.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, moving on to item C, open government training. General Counsel Robert Reyes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chair. Board members, again, welcome to TDLR. I know you'll enjoy working with everybody here. It's been my pleasure to be an Assistant General Counsel for 3 years now. I'll be providing you the open government training that we provide all our boards here at TDLR. Give me one moment while I share my screen with you all. All right, once again, my name is Robert Reyes, Office of the General Counsel here in Licensing and Regulatory Services. Today we'll have the open government training. We are going to review 3 major acts: the Open Meetings Act, the Administrative Procedure Act, and the Public Information Act. The purpose of the Open Meetings Act is to ensure open and transparent government. We really do value transparent government here at TDLR. Requires meetings of governmental bodies that are open to the public and that are preceded by public notice. A quorum is a majority of the members of the advisory board or committee as fixed by rule or statute. We have 9 seats here on the advisory board, so a quorum is 5 for this particular board. If there is less than a quorum, the board or committee may have discussion but may not take official action. Deliberation means a verbal or written exchange among a quorum of a governmental body. And meetings, a meeting occurs anytime a quorum of a governmental body engages in deliberation regarding public business or public policy over which the body has supervision or control. Notice, as you saw in our agenda, we had a date, time, place, and the subject matter of this meeting. We provide this in the form of the agenda, and it's filed with the Texas Secretary of State at least 7 days before a meeting and must be posted online by both TDLR and the Secretary of State. A board may not engage in discussions about a subject not included in the agenda. This is an example of how a quorum can, this is a meeting can occur anytime a quorum of governmental body engages in discussion about an issue. There will be times when you all are at conventions, at workshops, just social functions. Now that the holidays are coming up, you have to be wary of the walking quorum or a quorum developing during one of those functions at which many of you all are attending at one time. Members are free to engage in conversations that are incidental to the event that you are participating in or attending. However, discussion will be subject to the Open Meetings Act if a quorum of members is involved. So you must be aware of who's around you and who's taking part in the conversations. Key points to remember. That last one is one that we're going to be talking about here in detail, the walking quorum. The walking quorum occurs when fewer than a quorum of members initially engage in discussion about official business and then communicate those discussions to other members. While fewer than a quorum of members participate in the initial communication, the subsequent communications are what results in the quorum, and now you are subject to the Open Meetings Act. An example of how a walking quorum develops. And just to remind you all, this is part of your meeting packet that you all received from Ms. Marshall earlier this week. So again, Feel free to review that anytime you would like, but you do have these materials. Walking quorums can occur in several different manners: conference calls, video conferences, hallway discussions, as we just saw, at a meeting or convention, emails, texts, and other new technologies. We are all connected in in a multitude of ways now with all this technology. So you must be aware of what you're speaking about and to whom you're speaking to, and also the likelihood that that information is going to be shared with other members of the board. One other thing that I would like to mention is that any information that you receive from advisory board staff, such as Ms. Marshall there, please keep that to yourself and do not share it with others. Those communications are intended for those that will be addressed specifically. And so please take care to keep those messages private and to yourselves. We do not want to have anybody fall into this walking quorum situation. Best practices: meet in small groups, obviously less than a quorum, so less than 5. Send emails and text messages to a quorum of members regarding official business, or should not send emails or text messages to a quorum of members regarding official business, as obviously that exposes you to the Open Meetings Act. Do not create posts on social media where board business could be discussed. And then also, even on an individual basis, seek feedback from a quorum of members. Guidelines for open sessions are itemized here. Best practices for open sessions: we should limit discussions to the agenda items contained. Avoid allowing discussions to wander off to tangential matters. Not respond to or discuss issues that are raised during public comment, but which are not on the agenda, and specifically identify items for future agendas and communicate those items to TDLR staff. You will have an opportunity to do that at the close to the end of every meeting in which you participate. Civil remedies: there are, if there is a violation of the Open Meetings Act, you are exposed to civil and criminal remedies. Interested person can itemize, what has taken or what has occurred in violation of the Open Meetings Act and petition the courts to stop that action. That is avoidable act if it's committed in violation of the Open Meetings Act. Criminal penalties: so fine of anywhere from $100 to $500, confinement in county jail for 1 to 6 months, or both fine and jail time. Some best practices: definitely confine discussion to items specifically posted on the agenda. Some resources that are available for you all, including the phone number for TDLR's General Counsel's office. Again, this information and these links are in your materials. Moving on to the Administrative Procedure Act. The purpose of this act is to establish minimum standards of uniform practice and procedure for state agencies and provide for public participation and transparency during the rulemaking process. The definition of a rule: it implements, interprets, or prescribes law or policy, or describes the procedure or practice requirements of a state agency. What a rule is not: it excludes a statement regarding only the internal management or organization of a state agency and not affecting private rights or procedures. Sources for rulemaking: who an interested person is, according to statute: a Texas resident, a business entity located in Texas, a governmental subdivision in Texas, or a public or private organization that is not a state agency but is located in Texas. This is an illustration of the common rulemaking process for TDLR. Obviously, there will be some situations that in the future that can be contemplated, which in which this process may be modified, but this is the standard to which we make our rules and through which we go through the process. Every 4 years, we have a rule review process according to statute. And if there is a statutory requirement to have rules, we need to decide if the program rules are necessary. The rules continue to be necessary if the program exists or the legislature states the rules need to exist. And here is an illustration of the process. Again, links and information also found in your materials. And the third act, which we are going to cover today, is the Public Information Act. This act makes all documents, records, and other information relating to official business open to the public. So this is, again, goes to transparency. Public information includes any electronic communication created, transmitted, received, or maintained on any device, and that includes your personal cell phones, if it is in connection with official agency business. The act is construed liberally in favor of granting requests for information. Please keep that in mind. That is a very important concept for board members. Requests for public information. The public can request copies of public information or request to inspect the information in the offices of the governmental body. This is done in writing. Here at TDLR, we have a records center portal in which an account is made by a member of the general public and they submit their request. That is on our website. We have, we try to respond as soon as possible, but not later than 10 days after receiving the request. So we are on a very quick turnaround. We have a wonderful team here at TDLR that processes thousands of requests a year that can range from very specific to responses that are hundreds, if not thousands of documents and pages in total. So we have a very limited turnaround to gather all these documents and aggregate them, but they do a wonderful job doing that. We cannot ask why someone wants the records. We can only ask for clarifications through that wonderful team I just spoke about, the GC Open Records team. The general rule is a presumption of openness, which is just another great word for transparency. Certain information is required to be redacted, and those examples are listed there. But an OAG ruling must be sought to redact or withhold other information. So again, there is going to, with the request comes the presumption of openness, and that we will provide everything we can that's in our custody, possession, or control. If you receive a request as a board member, please forward that request as soon as possible to the advisory board team, to Ms. Marshall there, who will then forward it to the Open Records team here in the Office of General Counsel. If the General Counsel of the Open Records team here requests information from you as an advisory board member, please respond as soon as possible. That 10-day deadline applies to all requests. So any information that we're asking for is very important to understand what documentation we need to provide in response. Last slide are links. Again, those links are found in your materials. I'm happy to take any questions if you have any at this time.
Yes, sir. I have a couple of questions. Typically, are there a lot of public information requests from boards at TDLR? I know at Lottery, when we were at on the BAC there, I don't think we ever had a public information request. Does that happen a lot at TDLR?
I'm not aware of the specific statistics as to the breakdown between the open records requests from board members or just the general information requests from documentation, like as, you know, regarding licensees or anything like that. But it has happened in the past, and that is one of the reasons why we offer this training, so you all are up to speed and aware of what could happen and what information is exposed to an open records request. But it can definitely happen. It's provided for in statute and rule as to process, and so we need to make sure that we have the availability to contact you, being in communication with you as the advisory board, to ensure that we can gather all the information that we can in regards to appropriately responding to the requests made. But as far as statistics, don't have those statistics, but it has happened in the past. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else have a question? No? All right, I don't think there's any other question. One of the things, and this may not be directed at Robert, but I noticed when we went, he was talking about the rulemaking process under the Administrative Procedure Act. One of the things that I noticed is different than what we're used to, and we're welcome to change, was when we were looking through the agenda, I was looking through the agenda for yesterday's meeting. When I was looking through that, it showed that there were going to be rule changes adopted, but there was no link on the website to be able to look at those draft rules for proposal. Is there a better place we can look for those drafts? Because we're looking at those rules ahead of time for input. So is there a better place to look?
Derek Burkhalter, Assistant General Counsel. So typically during a rulemaking, we will have brought the rules to you in one of these meetings before the commission meeting, so the public and you will have had a full chance to see them and discuss them. In this scenario, we've just taken them straight to the commission. And so other than publishing them in the Texas Register and having that formal process, we don't have a separate way to kind of see the rules. So this was kind of a one-off just to get the advisory provisions in place. But going forward, you will see them before the commission sees them.
Okay, excellent.
In the materials provided here, that they've got that pretty little green and blue
Yes.
flow chart. There's a couple of boxes there. The first one of them says, I've got to read it over here. First advisory board meetings, that's the first time it'll be brought to you, and then before the commission adoption box, it says second advisory board meeting. So it looks like that process includes two times that it'll come to you.
Okay, excellent.
We will usually come to you before publication and then after publication and before the commission meeting.
Excellent, excellent. That's wonderful. Okay, cool. All right, any other questions? Robert, thank you very much for that. We appreciate you and your time you spent on that.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you to the board as well.
All right, next item, item D, public comment. So anybody that would like to make a public comment would need to submit the public comment form to our committee liaison. The Bingo Advisory Committee did not receive any emailed public comments. And as of right now, we don't have any public comments.
No, sir.
All right, so we can go on with that. Going on to item E, agency update. We get to hear from our Charitable Bingo Operations Division Director, LaDonna.
So I'll start with where Courtney kind of left off on yesterday's commission action for the terms for the members. Actually, I'll start with, hi, everybody, welcome. It's great to see you. Now I'll talk about the terms. Okay, so we've got 2-year terms, 4-year terms, and 6-year terms. We've got staggered terms. For the 2-year terms, Floyd Olive, Trey Smith, and Melody Green. For the 4-year terms, Tommy Duncan Jr., Veronica Uriegas, and Jason Pohl. And then with 6-year terms, our kind of newest member, Casey Jackson, and then newish, Audrey Walters and Victor Kirkendall. So any questions about that or missed their name?
So the 4-year term was Tommy, Veronica, and who else?
Jason,
Jason. Oh. All right. And, I think yesterday y'all had said that, even if your term is up, you can still reapply.
I've asked that question. There's no prohibition on reapplying. There's no term limit.
Okay, excellent.
You're
Any questions about
confirming.
that? Yes, ma'am.
Are there specific reasons why people have 2, 4, and 6 years? Is the position?
So that's the TDLR rule is staggered 6-year terms. And
it's
so
just
in order to
random?
have them staggered, they're gonna be 2 years, 4 years, and 6 years.
That's fine.
Sure.
I think that makes it a little easier when it comes time to, instead of having to do the whole application process every year, it'll be, staggered stuff, so. Excellent.
And I guess that term expires August 31st, whatever year we're talking about. Just to be
Yes,
specific.
correct, yes.
Okay, all right. And I was thinking, I see there that Derek's got the printout from the website where all your pictures and bios are. We can add the last sentence to everybody's bio that has the expiration date. For that.
All right. Any other comments on that?
Yes, moving on, I want to give you some updates on some of the Senate Bill 3070 implementation. Senate Bill 3070 is the reason we're all here at TDLR. Welcome. So I sent a director message announcement about legislative implementation back at the beginning of this month. Of course, we sent it to you all also, so you all got it also. But let me get it on the record here. Those items from Senate Bill 3070 that directly impact the bingo operations. So limiting the amount of time a grandfathered licensed lessor may be on administrative hold to 10 years. That was a change that was made. We've now programmed BOSS and updated the forms on that. And of course, there'll be rulemaking coming, the rulemaking that we're all talking about will be coming, and that'll go into the rule also. I know allowing licensed distributors under certain circumstances to receive bingo equipment or supplies from a licensed organization, including some record keeping requirements. That'll be, that's been updated in our training modules. So you can see that online pretty soon. Increasing the amount of operating capital a licensed organization or unit may retain in the bingo account to the actual bingo expenses based on the preceding license period, excluding prizes paid, not to exceed $100,000 per organization. So we've programmed BOSS, that's already been implemented in the database, and of course the rules are coming. Prohibiting the bingo advisory committee from participating in committee member selection. That was also in the bill. That'll, of course, it's not in the new rule that we passed. It is in the new rule, right? It is in the new rule prohibiting their involvement, and
I would have to
I'm
double check the
sorry.
text, but it's certainly in the statute.
it's certainly in the statute, so we're good. And of course, it's the old rule, the TLC rule that's now moved into chapter 141. It is still in there, and that'll be taken. Derek mentioned yesterday we'll be sort of merging those two rules, so you'll see that when we do that. And then, of course, requiring the commission to consult with the VAC to collaboratively define and implement specific fiscal accountability rule. That'll be a rule. And then the last item I did not put in the email that everybody got is another project that we're working on also from the bill, which is manufacturer bond amendments. So the bill requires the manufacturers that have bonds on file to amend them and update the payee information from Texas Lottery Commission to TDLR. So we've contacted all the manufacturers. We have 14 active manufacturers who have bonds on file. We're in the process of contacting them. I haven't seen what the latest success rate on that is. I may be reaching out to our manufacturer representative on this committee to help me if I need some help getting responses out of all the manufacturers. That's the last item from Senate Bill 3070 that I have on my list. Our next commission meeting I don't know if those of you that were watching the meeting, that next commission meeting is gonna be December 16th. That's the TDLR meeting. That's all I've got, Trace. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I do have
Oh, I
one.
think you have
I've
a
got a
question.
quick question.
Yeah.
What is BOSS?
Oh, sorry, that is our database. That's our licensing database that we use in the charitable bingo operations
Okay.
division. Of course, that is, that's gonna be updated. We're working on an upgrade for it. That was my last announcement. I should have
And
been,
then-
I'm sorry.
You also referenced the training. Is that something that's available to the public? Is that something I could take or?
I think so. I think it's
Yes.
without even, yes, without even having to be like,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
Connect with Vivian, and she can show you what, it's training that we offer to the industry.
Okay.
Some of the folks in the halls are required to take it. We encourage anybody that's working in the hall to take it. I think it's a lot of really good information.
Yeah, it's very informative. Very informative.
My last announcement is that our IT division is of course working on the BOSS and VSP upgrade. The legislature did appropriate the money for that. Jason Kennedy, our IT director, told me that he is working with HR right now, on hiring the new FTE for that. But we do also have our dedicated staff that's been working on it already. So, they're using the report that you all created last year. And I will put in a plug, if you have thought of more issues or you've heard of more issues from industry, please contact me and I will pass them along also.
I do have a couple of questions. Going back to yesterday's meeting, I noticed that there was I think you called it LARS, the licensing application online deal. Is that gonna be integrated in with the BOSS system, or is that gonna be completely separate?
Not for Courtney Arbor, Executive Director. Good question, Trace. Not for the foreseeable future.
Okay,
That takes 8 different systems in old TDLR and modernizes them into one platform, and it's a multi-year project. So we don't anticipate rolling bingo into that in the foreseeable future.
okay,
A couple of years from now, we might, but we don't know yet
right.
what that would look like.
That was my first question. My second question, you mentioned the bill 3070, talking about the license for the lessors. Can't be on hold for more than 10 years. When is the start date on
Start date is the effective date of the bill, so,
Okay.
for anybody there, we did have several grandfathered lessors that were on administrative hold at the time of the bill, so that 10-year clock for them will start on the effective date.
Okay, so it's not retroactive. Great, that's been a big question in the industry. So,
Good, we worked on that language specifically.
awesome. That's good news for everybody. Okay, is it all that you got?
That's all I've got, thank you.
Any other questions on that? No. All right, let's go on to item F, discussion and possible recommendation of the fiscal year 2026 annual work plan. I'm sure you've all seen the work plan. This is the one we created back in June, I believe it was, June or July. There are several things on there that are pretty important. They're all important, actually. Number one is when requested and appropriate, work with staff to help integrate charitable bingo operations division into TDLR. I think we're currently doing that very well and effectively. Number two, identify potential rule or procedural changes that may help organizations address challenges related to conducting charitable bingo. And I think we've got some stuff coming up maybe for the next agenda to discuss on that. Number three, research and identify methods of play in other states to help promote new ideas to increase attendance and charitable distributions. I think we're going to talk about that as well on our next agenda item. We may be creating a work group amongst the members of the BAC for that. And if there's anything y'all want to interject, please do so at any time. Number four, identify methods and opportunities to raise awareness of the role and contributions charitable bingo makes in Texas. Probably want to do a work group for that on the next agenda item or for the next meeting. Number 5, provide feedback and comments to the agency on changes to administrative rules in chapter 402 and additional amendments, including making final recommendations regarding adoption and whether any bingo advisory opinions should be incorporated into the rules. I think we're gonna be currently doing that, and we got rules coming down the slide there. Number 6, continue to work with the agency staff to increase online filing of quarterly reports and payments using the bingo service portal. We may, at our next meeting, we may create a work group on that. I think there's some ideas that people have. I think, one of the BAC members mentioned that you can't pay a lessor license online right now. So maybe that's something we talk about at the next meeting as well on the agenda. Number 7, review components of the agency's charitable bingo website and the BSP and provide recommendations for improvements. Last year we had Dr. Penny did a great job on this. We had a work group for that last year. I think we might probably put a work group together at the next meeting for that as well. Number 8, provide reports at each commission meeting that include status updates of the bingo advisory committee's activities, industry accomplishments, challenges, or concerns. I think that's going to fall on me to do that at the next meeting, so we'll make sure that's done. And number 9, develop the required bingo advisory committee's annual report to the commission on the state of the charitable bingo industry and submit it to the commission and to the charitable bingo director by July 15th of 2026. We've got a great team that does that. So I don't think we actually got to present annual work plan from last year. But we do have that in email form if you would like for us to send that to whoever. I think you have a
You
copy
sent
of
it,
it,
you sent
right?
it to me and to Courtney. We've got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Received it.
Mhm.
Okay, do we need to present that to the commissioners at the next meeting, or I don't want to get caught in a jam here, because we didn't get to present it, but if y'all want us to, we can do that.
There's no defined deadline for that or defined presentation, correct? It's
Right.
But it's to be submitted. Let me talk to the
Yes.
commission. I'll let you know before the meeting.
And let me interject and explain something that I talked to Glenn about yesterday, this thing about the years. Of course, the rest of the state of Texas on a fiscal year, bingo's on a calendar year.
Right.
So the information that Trace presents in the annual report, because we're kind of getting it confused with the annual work plan. This is the BAC's annual report. Now he's talking about. So what has happened from lottery, because it was part of the rule, was that every year, at the end of the year, the BAC would present its annual report. It was presenting the last calendar year. So in August of 2025, he would have been presenting calendar year 24. So that's going to be confusing the longer we go.
Yes. Makes sense.
Yes.
Sooner is better.
Yes, yes. Or it could just be provided to them, not a presentation, right? Sorry, I kind of whispered that. I said, or it could be just provided to them, if not a presentation.
Yeah, it's whatever works best for the
Right.
commissioners. It's fine.
Right, but we do have it.
Yes, okay. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing anything and not doing what we were supposed to do.
Thank you.
All right. So is there any other discussion or questions on the work plan?
Yeah, so in my experience working with legislature, there's, you pass a bill and there's a whole lot of gray area or just flat out probably holes that don't exist. And I guess the whole reason why we have the rulemaking.
Rules.
Do you guys have a list of those issues and rules that you guys have been working on?
Yes.
Okay. And that's something that you guys would share to us before the next meeting, or what's the process for that?
Sure. Sorry, Deanne Rinstra, Interim General Counsel, Lottery and Bingo. Yes, we have a list and we will be sharing, by your next meeting, what rules are going to be proposed pursuant to SB 3070.
And what are the SB 3070? Is that the only bill that affects bingo?
There was a second bill, House Bill 2820. I didn't mention it because it has the very same change in it. It's just a very short bill, one change to the operating capital limit, and it is identical to the change that was in Senate Bill 3070.
Yes. And if you'd like it, if you'll get with me, I can help you with that, if that'll help you.
Sure.
Okay, if there's no other discussion on the, if fiscal year 2026 annual work plan is written, we need a motion and a second to recommend to the commission that we approve this.
We accept this.
We have a motion
I
and
second
a
it.
second. All right, all in favor, say aye.
I can do a roll call, sir.
Aye.
Okay, go ahead, do a roll call vote.
Jason Holt,
Aye.
Melody Green,
Aye.
Tommy Duncan Jr.,
Aye.
Veronica Urigas,
Aye.
Floyd Olive,
Aye.
Victor Kirkendall,
Aye.
Casey Jackson,
Aye.
and presiding officer Trace.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Right. Thank you, Carmen. All right, moving on to item G, recommendations for agenda items for the next committee meeting. We've got, 4 items on the work plan that we probably need to set up work groups for. Item 3, item 4, item 6, and item 7 that we'll need to discuss at the next meeting.
Okay, I'll write down, sir.
Are there any other recommendations for agenda items for the next meeting?
I have a question and I don't know how this is integrated into all this, but one of the things is on our licenses that are posted in the bingo halls, for some reason it has personal addresses and is just every charity, like the chairperson, his personal home address is listed. Everybody's home address is listed. Is there a reason for this? Is there something that we can do? There's just a lot of, it was brought to my attention when I was seeing the things that were supposed to be redacted, like date of birth and that stuff. So and email addresses. So this is your home address. So I didn't know what's appropriate, but I just think that privacy is, we've had a few issues in the 35 years, believe it or not. So it was one of the things that it just kind of brought to my attention. So I don't know.
I always wondered that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll look into that. I know that that piece of paper has the license on the top, the blue
Right.
license, and Courtney's name, and has the, all the information on it. Then there's white on the bottom. Is
On
that?
the top left corner of that license, it's got the chairperson's full name
Uh-huh.
and full home address.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's the only contact information we have for the chairperson. I'll look into it.
I mean, if the alternative would be to put the hall address on there, and not
Figure
have
that out. We'll
personal.
look into that.
Yeah.
First I've heard of it. Thank you.
Is that something we need to put on the agenda for the next meeting to discuss that, or is that?
We can certainly get back to you at the next meeting about it.
Okay, all right, let's do that.
Thank you.
Anything else? Melody, you got anything? Donna?
We do have a lot of work to do with the boss. Or the website itself, there's so many things you cannot run off. You do your temporaries, what days are what they well, they don't give you a chance to run them off to see it. So, anyway, yeah, that needs to be.
Okay. Anyone else? Preston, you got anything? No, sir. Okay. All right, Carmen, did you get all those?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so we've got several agenda items for our next meeting. If there's anything else that you think of in between now and the next few weeks, if you could email Carmen and copy me on that, we can get those in on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Victor Kirkendall, should we have a standing agenda item to discuss any rules that the department or commission brings forth to us, just as a matter of practice?
It's a good idea.
I think that if there are any rules or anything like that, I think they have to put that on the agenda. Is that correct? Am I correct?
If they're
Okay,
gonna
so,
be brought to you, yes.
yeah, so that'll be a standing deal, whether we have, whether we suggest it or not, they will do that for us. So yes, you're dead on the money on that. So.
Thanks
yes.
for the clarification. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. All right, if nothing else on that, item H, discussion of date, the time and location of the next committee meeting. Carmen, you said you were gonna poll us, but I think we kind of,
If you would like it to be before the commission meeting, we can do the January 26th that you talked about earlier, if that works for everybody.
everybody good with that, January 26th? Okay, all right, sounds good. Madonna, that all right with you?
I don't know.
You don't know? That's a long way
Chairman?
away.
There was discussion of a December date. What was that for?
The commission, the
Oh,
TDLR commissioners, they're meeting on December 16th.
So, just to be clear, the commission will be meeting on the 16th, and that I will give my report to them from this meeting on the 16th, correct? Anybody?
Excuse me, which report?
16th of,
The 2024.
Well, I'll give the report from this meeting to the commissioners on the 16th, is that correct?
Okay, that's correct. I understand your question. Sorry, I thought we were going back to the last,
And I can be prepared to give the 24 report if needed.
let us talk to the commission about that, Trace. It's a great question, unless you've talked to the chairman about it, who establishes the agenda. We don't normally do a report out on every one of the boards at each commission meeting, but I'll talk with him about whether or not we add that as a standing item.
All right, excellent. Okay, so we're tentatively set for January 26th. That's a 10 a.m. meeting, Carmen?
Yes, sir.
Love that.
Have we met the requirement for all the meetings we're supposed to have this year?
Yes.
Yes. All right, there being no further business, this meeting of the Bingo
Chairman.
Advisory. Yes, sir.
Victor Kirkendall again. If my understanding is correct, that we're going to do now quarterly meetings, is that correct?
At a minimum, we're required to meet quarterly. We may be asked to, meet more than that, but it will be at a minimum quarterly. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if nothing else, there being no further business, this meeting of the Bingo Advisory Committee is now adjourned. Thank you all for your contributions and attendance. Carmen, thank you so much for the work you've done on this. It is now 10:52 and this meeting is adjourned. It's quite-
Yes. I appreciate it.
That's okay.
Did we send these back to you?
This meeting a couple of hours later, we got the.
Yeah.
I love this meeting.